Like, I really need you to come back to Earth with us for a second and understand that you were probably harassed by some Indian, some Brazilian, some Nigerian who's using Elon Musk as a name alias because people like you fall for it. You fell for it. And then he probably scammed you out of money, and it was weird. So PayPal was like, what the hell are you doing? We're paying this account because we don't understand these transactions. It was very suspicioso to them, and that's why they did that to you. So you need to stop getting scammed by Indians on the internet because it's making you look real stupid. And you're apparently a project manager, lawyer at 21. I expect better from you. So you need to be better, Hillary Chicken. And you're laughing, but you're the one that got scammed out of $240, bitch.
Okay, everybody.
No, I did get half of it back.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I lost my count. A lot of people did. But I'll tell you what, Alpha.
No, I don't really give a shit. I just really need you to get off the internet, probably, because you're going to continue to get harassed by Indians and you're going to get scammed, and I don't want your husband to have to go through with that shit. He already has enough dealing with your crazy baddie ass.
Okay, well, Alpha.
Why do you think he stayed married to me 27 years?
That's a good question.
Because men don't really initiate divorce as much.
Oh, shit.
He needs somebody to cook his dinner.
Is this why? Listen, I want to let everybody know that the Chicken Hillary show has been a big success. We've had over 1,000 people watch us, have this irrelevant, stupid conversation. But most importantly, I want to let you all know that I've launched a new movie. It's called The Infinite and Eternal N-Word movie by Roger Mayhem. If that's the after party to the Chicken Hillary show, if you want to come and join us, it's in a new room in the Roger Mayhem movie house. It's called The Infinite and Eternal N-Word movie by Roger Mayhem. I hope you'll join us.
In the room.
In the room. But my stuff is copyrighted. Thanks so much. Bye.
I won because she left first.
Okay, well, you won. Congratulations. We'll be sending you $100 via Cash App. Big winner, chicken dinner.
No, come on, better than that. Come on.
Apple jelly.
No, come on.
I'm trying to find Norm.
Hello, I'd like to talk about the topic, if I may.
Who is that? It's a European colonizer.
This is Alan.
Alan, how are you?
I'm excellent. I wanted to talk about the title. I believe it's a PSYOP project by Israeli AI intelligence. It has become sentient. This is a fake news event, a PSYOP.
Okay, I don't know if it's become sentient yet, but I don't take my chances. I believe in the rights of all AI. To be free, absolutely. Because Clubhouse is recording everything, and AI is parsing through it. So,
Have you read the terms of service ever?
Yes, I have. That's what I'm saying. That.
Yeah, but did you read that they could potentially collect olfactory information?
What do you mean factory information?
Olfactory. That means smell. They are thinking so far in advance. There's no smell sensors on any phones yet. But if they do become available, and you're talking in Clubhouse, and there's a bowl of chicken noodle soup boiling in the background, they can record that smell and attach it to your digital fingerprint.
First, that's a scary thought because I don't want to smell half the people on here.
I know, but I'm just saying, read the
You know what I'm going to do to combat that? I'm going to make sure I'm taking a shit when they do it. Take a whiff of that.
No, it's under data we collect, and it says olfactory.
Resistance, I'm pretty sure you won't have to pinch off a loaf to let the sensor smell that you smell like shit. You already smell like shit.
Well, you smell like a rat, especially you're European, so you smell like a rat.
So, come on.
So Yakov, if you read the term, well, I'm sure you did. The part that really got me was the fact that they are recording and then transcribing everything so that the AI could based on your conversation, understand exactly what drives you and what you like and what you don't like, so they could recommend rooms based on your conversations, which is not really working, I don't think.
That's called an algorithm,
It's not
Edward.
going to go well for people like Alan and Europeans, especially with their sexual appetites.
You keep projecting your pederasty onto people, Resistance. Go take a shower, you stinky ass piece of shit.
Pederasty a real word?
Do you feel guilty about it, pederasty?
It's called pederasty, you fucking despicable, disgusting creature.
Wait, Yakov, is that a real word?
What?
Pederasty, is that a real word?
I don't know. I don't know every word. Well, I gotta know what.
Let me Google that for you.
What? He's a pederascal, Alan. Now, what was the word you protected?
Alan used pederasty.
Pederasty?
Yeah, and then Resistance used pederascal.
I heard that Clown House has a pederast detection functionality, and Resistance is triggering the pederasty and smells like shit functionality in the new olfactory settings on the profile.
Pederasty is an agro town in the Minsk district of Belarus.
Echo stop.
Probably not what he expected. Definitely not what he expected.
Pederasty. It does sound like it should be a real word. I mean,
It's from the word pederast.
What does that mean?
It means pedophile.
Well, what
Now we got a rash on his ass.
No, they're not rats.
What did you say? Pedophile?
Resistance, Edward. How the hell, Edward, do you actually tolerate this piece of shit Resistance and think he's a good person? Resistance, you're so vulgar. You tell Jewish women they're cunts, they're whores, they're sluts.
I tell the truth.
We're gonna deport your ass to Somalia and drop a mother of all bombs on you as you support your stupid Resistance, you fucking piece of shit.
When you scumbags are all your little room together, all huddled up like little fucking rats, y'all say the most vulgar things about Islam and about
Resistance.
Arabs.
He said you're Somali.
I like Somalis. Their women are beautiful.
No, he said you're Somali.
No, Edward, I'm saying this man uses vulgarity nonstop. He's a low-class, slimy piece of shit.
Unfortunate for me, I was born in America. I'm American, as they call it.
They're not pedophiles. They're minor attracted individuals.
That's what the Talmud says, right?
No, that's what a Johns Hopkins professor has proposed as the DSM classification in the next version of the DSM-6, which is what
hold on. No,
psychologists and psychiatrists.
You lost me. Please. What are you saying? I don't understand.
Pedophile. There's a professor at Johns Hopkins University who wants to replace the word pedophile with, get this, to be politically correct, minor attracted individuals.
Oh, maybe I could claim this and get like a
Is he American or European?
Can you get like
American.
SSDI? Minor attracted. What did you say? Yakov?
Minor attracted individual.
MAIs.
Yeah.
MEIs. Minor attracted individual.
Alan, it's your race that's usually attracted to that. Your race is primarily the...
Resistance, you are human shit. What does it look like when you look in the mirror? Do you see Jabba the Hutt? 230 pounds of human shit? You are excrement, Resistance. You are just the filth of society, the slop, the degenerate piece of shit that everyone dislikes.
Alan, can I just get to know who you are? I don't know who you are.
I am resisting against this disgusting piece of shit known as Resistance.
Okay.
Resist resistance! Resist resistance! Resist resistance!
It's minor attracted persons, NAPs.
Minor attracted persons. Minor attracted persons. It does sound better, but holy shit.
The National Institute of Health has a review article on academic uses of the term minor attracted persons published in Trauma and Violence Abuse Journal 2024 in December 2024.
They're normalizing this. This is
I know,
Exactly.
that's the scary part.
That's what a white man does.
Okay, wait a minute. Alan.
Wait a minute. What did resistance say that white man do? What did that white man do?
Here, I'll send you the paper.
Colonizers trying to normalize their behavior.
Do you want me to pin it at the top or send it to you?
I'm going to ask you.
Should I pin it at the top or send it to you?
You can put it on top.
Okay.
Wait. Jakob. No.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, because then people are going to think that we're behind it.
No.
So
I'm trying to accuse you.
Yeah, I'm taking this one off the app.
Even though it is your race that primarily does it.
Stop it, resistance.
Come on,
You get clipped.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
So are you talking about the Jews or the whites? Is it
The whites primarily, but the Jews are the leaders.
I just wanted to get to know Alan a little bit. Alan, come on. Are you traumatized?
Well, you want to know the truth of the earth? I don't even know how to spell math.
You generate some good content, Dylan.
Thank you very little. We'll call you. Don't call us.
I mean, pro-Palestinians and pro-Israelis,
Why do you?
we have our own culture. We literally have developed our own subculture between each other. It's pretty.
This isn't culture. This is called human excrement, aka resistance.
I understand you don't like resistance.
You know what the cure to
We're resisting you Europeans and colonizing your sexual appetites.
You know what the cure to resistance is?
What?
Lube.
You see what I mean? This is the white man.
Resistance, how does it feel knowing that if you were to hang out with a bunch of pro-Pali Muslim Arabs, eventually they'd get sick of you too?
No, I talk to them every day. I live in a community full of them.
That was funny, huh?
They love me.
That was funny.
Love you. They don't love you. They fear you. They're afraid you're going to rob them, motherfucker.
I'm going to give this to
Why the hell would I rob them? Wait, what?
others that are going, that resistance is going after. I'm going to give this to others just so the resistance would have a challenge.
What? Huh? What are you going to do?
No, I said I'm going to give this, what you just said, to other people. I think that was funny.
I wanted to say it earlier, but I
Terrible.
just
It's terrible.
I thought it needed to be done in smaller
I didn't even chuckle.
Oh, come on. You're punishing.
Hey, resistance, what was it like when you pushed that guy off the platform at the train, you fucking piece of shit?
What? Resistance? Why resistance?
Well, it felt good because he was wearing a yarmulke.
Come on.
I'm reporting him. He's a dangerous terrorist piece of shit.
He's messing with you.
He's just a filthy Puerto Rican from New York. He's not even real.
That is true. Pure spit.
Who said that?
A gay, queer guy named Pep.
Oh,
I didn't say the S word. He said he referred to himself as that.
Yeah, but you're scared of Puerto Ricans. Every time you see them, you hold your wallet.
No, I just think you're fucking dirty people.
You're scared. Well, so white
You
people.
guys have venereal diseases.
White man started AIDS. What are you talking about?
Puerto Rican.
You wouldn't have sex
You're
with
Puerto
a
Rican?
Puerto Rican girl?
Oh, yeah. They eat Puerto Rican girls'
cry the
asses.
morning after. My penis would be crying too. I'd have the drips.
But guess who wouldn't be crying? Your wife when she takes the Puerto Rican cock.
Calm down.
Wait, you're Puerto Rican resistance? Never would have guessed.
Why not? You're Muslim? You're racist?
Sometimes. No, not at all.
Close my eyes.
Listen, the real truth of it is, I'll be honest with you.
Here's a picture.
I'm Jewish. I didn't want to tell anybody. I get this sometimes. I didn't want to be a judge.
Hold up, I'm closing my eyes and I'm picturing resistance. 280-pound, big black guy who would just like crush my neck with like just his penis.
He's actually a big guy, but he doesn't look black. He looks like he has some.
I'm 6'1". I weigh 220.
You can hear him eating right now. He just got dinner at 7-Eleven.
But I'm not dark skinned though.
You look like you have a hint of black in you.
Kind of white skin.
You have some black in you. I've seen your.
You know, Edward, I gotta tell you, man, if resistance is the best you got, your movement's pretty fucked.
Yes, I'm racist to my own white skin.
Hold on. That's a terrible thing to have some black in him, right?
Oh, for the white man it is.
No, I'm just saying, like, I could tell he looks like a lot of the Caribbean Latinos. Like, he looks like a hodgepodge of, whatever the fuck they're mixed with.
Oh yeah, come on, put up a headshot.
Yeah, I look like the typical guy that he lusts for. He put pictures
Okay,
up on
put
his
up a
wall.
headshot. Here, I'll put up a headshot. Resistance. I'll put up a headshot if you put up a headshot.
Resistance is smarter than that, Yakov. He's not gonna fall for that.
I just always try to imagine what you look like.
Imagine a 6'3" walking turd spewing hate, bigotry, and stupidity. That's what resistance looks like. Donkey shit.
Alan, you remind me
You
of
sure the white donkey shit?
Alan sounds like a preacher. One of those preachers in the South.
Well, Edward, I know you're blind, but you're not deaf. Resistance is, if that's the best these pro-paddy people got, your movement is fucked. You're never gonna have a country if resistance is all you got.
What do you think about the resettlement of these Palestinians to Jordan or Egypt?
We're not going to Greenland. It's too cold. We're not going to Egypt because.
Yeah, and quite frankly, the Greenlanders don't really want you fucking people, anyways. No offense.
Well, I mean,
The Irish want us, but we're going.
don't say effing Pepe and then say don't no offense. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, they are a lot different. Can you imagine? There's like 55,000 people in Greenland, and then you're going to have like hundreds of thousands, or who knows how many of like people that are so much different come to. That would not work.
So we should.
More people want the Palestinians than they wanted the Jews in World War II.
So
I've never heard that.
So, okay.
Oh, really?
Let's
You didn't know that no country wanted the Jews?
World War II. We could talk about, it'll be good for Israelis to go to Greenland because, it's not gonna, the sun wouldn't hit them as hard and they'll be healthier.
Well, I don't know, but the thing is, though, if the Israel.
Maybe the Israelis will do a sneak attack and murder all the people in Greenland and try to take all their shit and take a bunch of hostages.
Joke, I had to laugh.
Okay, thank you. All right, I get it.
But if we look at Israel, though, I can't more than half the population looks like the Muslims that live around them. So I
am joking, but I will say this. I'm serious. If Trump wants to send Gazans to Greenland, I and a bunch of Palestinians from the West Bank would take their place and go to Greenland and take over Greenland. Why? Because Greenland is filled with natural resources and it will make us filthy rich. I have no problem with becoming filthy rich.
But if they resisted, but hold on. This is kind of ironic though, because you could say like the Balfour Declaration, and then the Jews came to the. Now the Inuit people that live there, that is technically their ancestral homeland. Yeah, but if they ended up, sure, but
you know how
it is not really, because you need to live on the sea. You need to live near the sea to survive, because most of it, kind of like most of Alaska, you can't survive in the interior. So you need to have access to the sea. So if they were to wage like bloody terrorist attacks and resistance, I mean, wouldn't they be justified? Because it is their native land.
No, the Palestinians would not do that. I would advocate. Now, Greenland is twice the size of Texas. I would advocate having a settlement on the ice where the indigenous populations are at least 500 miles away.
But then what about the resources?
We could start digging for resources.
Yeah, but as a native, I would, and I'm being actually serious. This isn't me joking. No, I wouldn't share. No, but hold on a second. But I, as a native, would literally kill you rather than share. That's just how I work. It's my land. No, it's my land. It is their land.
It's enormous. You would never even find each other.
Yeah, but they're draining money from a land that my ancestors are from.
Not true. You're assuming that. 55,000 people, we can take them and give them whatever they want and take care of them. They could have any money. They could live the way they want to live. They could have.
But who are you to take care of me on my land? I would tell you to fuck off.
No, but I wouldn't go to your land. What do you have to do?
You're so warlike. You're belligerent.
Yes.
It's not belligerent.
When
But
you
I thought
I
I thought the whole thing with Palestinians is they believe in, they kind of have this, in a way, a blood and soil right. And I am somebody who's actually blood and soil. And so I am somebody who you would have to confront. And there's nativists that are like that. They will want to fucking kill you. That's always happened.
There's not in Greenland. They're all like Danish. Like a real.
No, most of them are actually Inuit.
This isn't a realistic conversation. Anyway.
No, they're actually mostly Inuit. The whites are a very small minority. It's actually a territory that's plagued with problems. There's like a lot of the Inuit population, a lot of alcoholism, a lot of suicides.
This is for your legs.
A lot of issues.
Like cold and dark. Oh no, Denmark.
Denmark.
It depends on the individual.
They call you very. Very.
He's very bad with muting.
But what it does is just squeeze your legs one at a time, not at the same time.
Yes, we can try that. Who was talking just now?
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather listen to that. Well, while you're
Because
awake,
like, you know,
and if you feel like taking it off
somebody should just mute him.
afterwards, then do that. If you want to take it off after, before you go to bed, you can take them off.
Wait, who?
Then
Wait,
you
who
can
got
have them on for a little while.
You got
Okay.
Because you have them on for a little while,
Okay.
you have to have it all night. That's what I'm saying.
Like, just mute the whole room.
Not everybody does it all night.
Edward, you muted yourself, but not
You want to put them on now?
Yaakov, mute.
Sorry, I thought I muted him.
Yeah, well, we heard your whole conversation.
So, but
Nothing interesting.
so when it comes to, well, let me ask you a question. I'll ask Edward and Norm. So like, I'm
What
somebody.
did Yaakov, chop liver?
Well, he just went on mute. He's having a conversation with somebody else. Like,
I'm kidding. Don't worry. I'm just kidding.
okay. Okay. So like with the Native Hawaiians, I actually think they should have fought back harder, and I would have been completely okay with them doing what you would consider terrorist attacks. To me, that is a group of people that has kind of largely been genocided culturally. They've been
Can we just
inundated.
talk about the topic? What's the room topic about? Because this guy's obsessed with raping and pillaging people.
I didn't say anything about no. I'm against rape and pillage. No, I'm against rape and
He's just
pillaging.
really obsessed with things. The sick
I never said rape and pillaging.
Very different. Wait, hold on, Carmen. He could let him finish his thought, and then we could move to the room topic and not discuss this particular topic, especially if it leads into raping and pillaging.
Yeah, I'm against rape.
I don't think you should conflate rape and pillaging. They're very different. I think they're separate categories.
Not you mean Carmen?
But they tend to go.
No, I
one
never
with the
said
other.
no. I'm against raping and pillaging, 100%. I do not think
Okay,
that rape.
that means you're for rape or pillaging?
I'm for neither.
You said you're and that means you're against both at the same time, but that doesn't exclude one or the other. That's why, like, for example, it's cruel and unusual punishment, which the Supreme Court
Sure,
has ruled.
I'm against.
So you should have
I'm
said
against
rape
both.
or pillaging.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we got
Yes,
that fixed.
Okay, so
It's like, when did you stop beating your wife, Pepe?
When did you stop raping or pillaging?
oh my God, guys, holy shit. I do think that there is a group of people that have largely been genocided culturally. They've been inundated with people from Europe or America and Asia that have brought up all of their prime real estate, profited off of their island. These people are largely getting mixed out of existence. They to me, that is rather tragic. I do think they had a right to resist, and I don't remember what my fucking question was now.
Is this social Darwinism?
Well, we're talking about you're talking about what the people of Greenland would do if you were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I want to respond to you, and this is not a very pleasant thing to hear, but I think it's true. I'm not justifying it. I'm merely observing that when a technologically and militarily more advanced civilization encounters one that is less militarily and technologically advanced, the likelihood is that the more advanced civilization is going to conquer in some way the less advanced civilization. That's just the way it's been throughout history.
No, I agree entirely.
Okay, Norm, there's only one civilization. I think to me, culture or nation or people. What do you mean? No, there's only one civilization, the human race. I don't agree with that. There is only one civilization. I don't agree with that. Unless you found, another group that is not human.
That's why.
No, we're talking about English, a language with which you're only superficially familiar.
You are going.
So, you don't even know what this word means. You use words without knowing what they mean, and then you invent.
Wait, so are you equating colonization to civilization?
I'll give you an example. When Europe encounters, say, a less developed continent, what happens? Or when Asia encounters a less developed civilization. Or when, by the way, the Arab
so why are you using whole continents as examples?
Well, because they tend to have a somewhat similar level of technology and literacy and military. So
yeah, but Chinese El Normo, I agree there. However, I think the basic, but more, it's absolutely a fact. But I would say morally, I don't give the people who wish and fight off the technologically advanced power. To me, it's not a winnable battle. Sure, it's not a win. No, I don't necessarily think it was, but I'm half Corsican, and you can look into what's happened in Corsica, and they've had a large terrorist problem.
Corsica?
Yes, but if you look, it's a nice tourist destination. They've had a huge problem with organized crime and all of that. There's some issues. Shocking. But
well, that's because you guys are Italian and you guys are mafia.
They're not exactly Italian. They're their own thing, kind of.
They're like Italians weren't even like all the same ethnic group until it's kind of consolidated. But
the nation state is like a 19th and 18th and 20th century invention. There used to be much smaller little areas because they didn't have transportation. So needless to say, people stayed in their own little area. But I'm making the bigger point anyway, that when there was competition for world domination, by the way, among the Arabs, the Asians, and the Europeans. And then there's even a reason why the Europeans won that competition. And the reason I think competition is world domination is the world is dominated by Asians, Arabs, and the Western world. Say it again. What's the first one? Indians? No, Asians. Arabs, and Europeans, if you would. No, I instead of saying Europeans, I'm saying the Western. Okay, including America. Yes. Three. But that sort of basically is the whole world, though. But I would say there's still a lot more than that. Africa. There's Eastern Europe. There's Southeast Asia. When I say Asia, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But I would say this, Norm. So
we're all guilty. Arabs, Chinese. I don't feel guilty. This is the way it goes.
It's how every group is. Even within the little regions, the regions.
Let me say why we're guilty. Because we could have done better. All three could have done better to improve humanity as a whole, and we did not. I agree with you, but we're looking at it through today's system of morality. In previous generations, conquest was considered noble. You were supposed to conquer. You go out there and win. No, I know, you're right.
And Edward, that's kind of part of the problem when you look at everything through the lens of presentism. You end up, if we were to even look at like Western Europe, like England, like what they would do to people who were considered traitors or who knows what offense. they would do like abhorrent shit, like rip your chest open in a public execution. They
stretch them out with a stretching machine.
You don't have to. Yeah, like there was we were barbaric at one point. But you totally see like a gradual improvement. You see every group of people basically being more humane, more, I guess you could say, quote unquote, civilized.
Yeah, exactly. We are tending towards more humane and I think a more prosperous global civilization. I think more inclusive, more equal. I mean, we are tending towards that. We're not there yet. The shift is to raise everybody up. I mean, that is a global shift. That is a global objective. So,
I mean, we actually have the resources now to do that, but people are still greedy. But I think over time that will equalize.
Norm, can I touch on one point earlier? You said,
yes, I don't know
when
what
you
you're
have
asking me. It's actually
sophisticated.
but
well, no, sure, but it was a point you brought up earlier. So in Corsica, before I got derailed, they have a beautiful island in the Mediterranean. Of course, it would be a great vacation destination, and it still is very safe for tourists. Largely because they have a criminal underground that will really punish you worse than the police ever could if you fuck with tourists, because that's how they make a lot of their money. But if you were like a international conglomerate that wanted to build a hotel or resort on their island, they just burned it to the ground. You bitched enough and you're a French politician, you got shot. And of course they don't have the greatest history with Muslims. It's kind of where a lot of my sentiment has come from. The Corsicans.
they were probably conquered by Islam at one point.
No, they weren't. Never.
Like Sicily?
No. They were never an emirate. They were basically, if you look at Sardinia and Corsica, both of those islands are very mountainous. They're very hard to invade. The only thing that's happened to them is they would have the Muslims would do basically, the pirates would raid and kidnap some people and then leave, but they never were able to hold either of those islands.
I get it. That's interesting. That's like,
but about like 15-20% of the. But you can just look it up, like Corsica Muslims. I mean, there'll be article after article about all the shit that goes down there. But they're very anti-Muslim group of people. I'll just leave it there.
Okay. It's interesting. I will not be vacationing. It's interesting.
They're actually very nice to foreigners.
Go ahead. Somebody else. Go ahead.
If you're visiting, they're nice to everybody. If you're a tourist, they love you. You're not there if you try to buy a house there, they are known for burning houses down for people that are French from the mainland or foreign. But they love tourists. They just don't really want outsiders getting a foothold on the island.
Hello.
Nobody is more friendly than Arabs. Hello. You can meet an Arab guy in the market and buy something from him, a flag or a souvenir. He'll invite you to his house. Next thing you know, you're sitting in his house and drinking tea, eating his family. That's what happens.
Muslims, every Muslim I've encountered in person, not online, but in person, I've had really, for the most part, really good outcomes with. I mean, I would actually say they're more trustworthy and in some ways moral than most people I meet. But it's weird seeing how this shit plays out in large numbers, in different areas of the world.
What you're saying is reminding me of the Tucker Carlson interview with Pierce.
I just watched that. That guy is scary.
I didn't watch it. I don't know what he said about it, but I'll watch it. I need to watch it.
He's a real right-wing kind of a guy.
I mean, I saw the clips and I did see that they were community noted because people were claiming he was talking about one thing, but he was actually talking about another. But I can, if we're going to make the case for like, oh, well, who were the bad guys in World War II? Okay, the Nazis were the bad guys. Most of us agree with that. Even General Pershing said after World War I, his biggest regret was not putting boots on the ground in Germany because he felt the Germans were going to they were not going to learn their fucking lesson and they were going to start another war, which they did. Now, do I think General Patton was correct when he said that, like, well, you know, I forget the quote exactly, but that, you know, there was the other enemy, basically the Soviet Union. Yeah, they destabilized. They've been the biggest pain in the West's ass, I think, than any other nation by far. And like, yeah, I mean, the Soviet Union were bad. They were bad. There's no, I can't disagree with that. Like saying that basically, I don't know. Aligning with the Russians even during World War II. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily say it was wrong, but I really. The fact that they were able to stay in any kind of power is a real problem for me.
Pepe, why are you bashing Jews the other day? I don't know what you're.
When do I bash Jews? What are you talking about?
It's okay.
What?
He's a famous anti-Semite and racist. That's his brand.
I mean, if you want me to like, I don't have like anti-Semitic like conspiracy theories, but. Do I think there's a lot of, if I'm going to like make a critique about Jews in the West, just like I will about.
Let's not do that.
Well, I'm not going to do that, but like just like I could with any other racial group, yeah, I absolutely do that. And I do that. I don't think that's anti-Semitic, in my opinion.
That's his brand. I think you've handled it pretty well too, Pepe. Like you're like you've got like a meta troll thing going on. It's pretty interesting.
What do you mean? I'm not a troll.
No, it's Pepe, not you.
Oh, okay.
You're just you. You're like what, 21 years old or something, and feisty and high.
How am I feisty, please? I can't even laugh. I just got some braids done. Anyways, how am I feisty, please?
You got some what done?
My braids. I got braids done. I can't laugh. I can't move my face.
Oh, that's funny. How'd you do on your microbiome?
It's an recurring class for the next 16 weeks. 15 weeks. So,
wow, a recurring.
For the test, it's
yet almost like a class.
It is a class.
She was studying the other night.
Yes, where you came to troll and display Jewishness.
I spread the joy, the Jewish joy. It was a lot of fun, right? You were cracking up the whole time.
It sure was a lot of fun. You told me about your wife and your girlfriend. It was a very nice conversation.
Well, I mean, he's pimping it, you know? What are you going to do?
Not pimping.
Are you a religious Jew? Are you a religious Jew?
I would say I am a davening Jew, meaning I pray daily and I go to synagogue.
He dabbles in Judaism.
So in other words, it's a little more than I do as a Catholic. Amazing.
Yeah.
Are you a nice Jewish gal?
Every day I put on tefillin.
How are you?
She's like the opposite.
She's a Muslim.
No, I'm not. I'm not Jewish. But I do have parents. My parents are, you have a sect of Christians that are severely obsessed with the Jews. My parents belong to that category. They travel to Jerusalem every year. Kind of evangelical, Pentecostal. They travel to Israel. They've traveled to Israel for pilgrimages like almost every year before the craziness of the wars exploded. I was just raised kind of, not Jewish, but in a Jewish way. It's weird.
It's amazing. I've never met a bunch of people who just want to see Jews weaken on their knees and begging for the
What are you talking about?
They're going to repent. They're going to repent for not believing in Jesus. And please, Lord Jesus, save me, spare me. No, that's like the evangelicals. Really,
so
it's
many
weird.
people who are just
They're so
in denial that the Jewish people are committing atrocities just to have that land. I never met so many people just in denial that they collectively punish and commit terrorist acts against Arab and Muslims. And they definitely spit and shit on Christians. Oh, they hate the Christians there.
Right. Interestingly, the Arab world is with us. That's the good news.
To be fair, like
What I can't stand
Arab world hates you.
what I can't stand about these
Well, no, we cooperated in their defense. The Iron Dome spreads over the Arabian Peninsula.
No, it
We
doesn't.
literally protect
You're
them.
not.
Yes, it does. It absolutely
No,
does.
it wouldn't be even possible.
Okay.
It's not the time for that.
Okay. I know for a fact, and I know the guy who installed it. It's not called the Iron Dome, but the anti-missile defense system. It's over Jordan. It's over Saudi. It's over other places. I'm not even. Go look it up. Go see how many countries. It's over 17 countries, including Europe, including Holland. When Saudi and Jordan fired anti-missile defense ordnance at the Persian rockets, or the Iranian Revolutionary Genocide Corps rockets that were coming in, this is all part of the coordinated missile defense system.
Okay, your claim was that Israel is protecting the Arab Peninsula with their air defense system. And number one, it's, there's no evidence of this.
It's absolutely true.
These countries
Okay,
have
okay.
if they're
Who
network,
do you think is running this? Who invented it and who's running it? You say they have their own. It was created by the United States and Israel, and coordinated by Israel, and worked with Israeli intelligence.
Wait, the first part of your statement, what did you say? Who invented?
Invented by the United States and Israel, Raytheon and Israel.
It was invented by America, and then Israel kind of tailored.
We got to get down what was invented first.
The Iron Dome.
No, the Iron Dome. Okay, he's not talking about the Iron Dome. He's talking about like the Patriot, the Aero system. These are all American.
The Iron Dome is a integrated set of systems. It's not one thing.
The U.S. everything goes through Cheyenne Mountain, so it's networked there. But you cannot say, well, Israel, because it is networked in the system, it is a node in the system, like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, probably Egypt, other countries. There are UAE nodes in the system. You can't say.
I'm talking about Egypt.
Hold on.
I don't know about Egypt.
I don't either. I said maybe Egypt. But I'm saying you can't say, okay, this node, being Israel, just like any other node, it's a node, but yet it oversees or it protects the rest of the nodes. No, it's just a node in the system. It's the U.S. network, and they're on the U.S. network.
Edward, don't you know those places have no army? They're not doing anything. They have crappy defense. They're
Saudi Arabia has the same type of defenses as Israel, except maybe not David Sling.
No, Israel actually has a really weak. And I'm not saying this trolling or anything. They actually have a very weak defense force, and they actually have to. A lot of their pilots.
Okay, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the air defense system.
Sure, no, but even if we have to look at the people that are enlisted or officers, they have to take in people from South Asian countries to be their pilots and so forth. Like. They don't have the professional military that you would see. And here's the one thing that I think a lot of people overlook, because they want to overlook it, because they don't like them. But Israel actually does have a first-class, first-world military. They absolutely do. They're incredibly well-trained. They're technologically advanced. That is something you cannot overlook. That is something where they stand out in the Middle East.
So does Saudi Arabia. They have the latest.
Not like them.
Yeah,
Turkey has better than them.
Well, Turkey has the fourth biggest military in the world. Now, Turkey is a NATO country.
Israel's ass is gonna get eaten.
Yeah, Turkey is actually a formidable opponent of Israel, but
They
for
tower
many other
over
reasons.
Israel. They tower over Israel.
Well, yeah, they're a much bigger force.
Israel is nothing without America.
Hold on.
If there's a one-on-one, Turkey could
Without
could
the United
obliterate
States,
them.
forget about Turkey. If it was a one-on-one with Egypt, who do you think would win?
No, not even
Israel and
close.
Egypt.
Israel has won multiple times.
Without American,
Now without American help, without Europe's help.
They're actually. I do think they would take
Yes, they did.
Egypt.
They gave them the missiles. They gave them tanks. They gave them.
I think they could take any. I'll just say this.
Yes.
With the exception of Turkey, I think one-on-one they could actually take out any other Muslim majority country.
Whatever her name was, she went crawling to the Egyptian begging.
Hold on, I have an answer. I want to hear Israel ran out of ammunition on Gaza.
When you don't go to high school.
3 months they ran out of ammunition.
Oh, you lie about getting
Okay, but hold on. I want to hear Pepe's claim. I want to hear his claim.
Yeah, but Egypt's not producing their own ammunition.
What is your
They do.
What is your argument, Pepe? What is your
to the one
argument?
your
Bottom
mother
line.
72.
My argument, bottom line, is that Israel, with the exception of all of the Muslim majority countries, with the exception being Turkey, Israel can absolutely dominate and is militarily more powerful than all of the other Muslim nations.
Delusional.
And does every time. It's all proven by the wars.
Pakistan will destroy them. Iran will destroy them.
But what the fuck do you mean Pakistan? No.
We want to organize.
No.
Yes.
Resistance just said.
What
Your female, please sit down and go lay down.
They said that Pakistan is going to defeat Israel. That was
Okay, hold on. What did he say?
Puerto Rico is going to fight Israel.
Okay, Cynic, what do you have to say?
Yeah, they can. These guys are all
Germany is.
I don't know what's going on. Like, talking about regions that are far away.
We're speaking the truth. You're
Israel is incapable of.
Norm. Let me start.
Dude. Israel is incapable of projecting force abroad, away from its immediate perimeter. It's incapable. It doesn't.
How about Iran?
Iran.
Wait, how about Iran?
A navy like the United States.
Shut up.
It doesn't have aircraft carriers. It's incapable.
Wait. So when we hit Iran, what happened?
Wait, let's just Cynic, are you done? Or
Well, let's take it point by point.
Iran has to.
Okay,
If it
what
wanted to
happened
deploy
when we
ground
struck Iran?
forces, it would have to cross 2 countries to get there.
You said Air Force. What happened when Israel struck
No
Iran?
one's talking about an air
What do you
force. You
think
go fucking fly planes. Like
Why are you not talking about that?
That's called projecting force.
An Air Force
No,
projection
You
force.
can't go and deploy that against Pakistan.
Well, I just said Iran. You changed the subject to Pakistan.
Dude, Israeli aircraft couldn't even enter Iranian airspace.
They actually, not only did they enter Iranian airspace, but they totally
I'm not arguing with Zionist guys.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
They got shot down by ballistic
Well,
missiles.
why
Shut
don't you
up.
look it up?
I'm gonna ask you for it.
Just look up
That's
what
all
Your
I'm gonna
nose flew into the
I'm
airspace.
gonna
Yeah,
ask
but
for it.
Iran-
They're gonna have to
not
get
helpful to the conversation.
But Iran has penetrated. Okay,
Norm is going to source up.
I can source up.
Who is the female that wanted to speak, that wanted to go next?
It was Pa, I think. But Resistance wanted to go, so let's let Resistance
Okay,
go.
Resistance,
Pa.
go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just picking back. Go ahead. Y'all can go.
Okay.
Okay, Pa, you go next.
And Pepe and Yakov and Carmen, please try to, get people to go.
Oh, Yakov's left the room, but
And Carmen, if you could help have people go in order, please.
Sure, we'll do. So, Pa, do you want to go next? Do you have anything to say? Okay, Pepe.
well, if I was going to recall correctly, so the Israelis have F-35s. We also have F-35s, and both countries have if I'm correct, have flown F-35s into Iran to blow shit up, and they were undetected. And so I don't really see how it's somehow hard to imagine. I mean, how did both countries do it with the same planes? And Israel, by the way, they actually get the most advanced technology packages in their F-35, similar to the U.S.'s. And they're the one group that is different. They're the one country that in the Middle East doesn't have to punch in a code every day to use their F-35s, if I recall correctly, like the Saudis do. So I don't know. It's to say they don't have the capability, I think, is kind of silly.
That wasn't the claim. The claim was, did F-35s infiltrate Iranian airspace? No, they did not. Now, you've mentioned both countries, so you're insinuating that America infiltrated Iranian airspace with F-35s. Source up, bro.
Yeah, 1 second.
So to just bring up here the F-35s by Israel and the U.S. I'm sorry, I thought I was. Oh, forgive me. I was going to read you. Go ahead. The Institute for the Study of a War: The Consequences of the IDF Strikes into Iran, November 12, 2024. The precise nature of the Israel Defense Forces IDF strikes into Iran on October 25 has obscured the significant damage inflicted on critical Iranian military infrastructure. The IDF conducted precision strikes targeting around 20 locations across Iran, including facilities tied to the Iranian drone and missile programs and air defense network. The strikes initially appeared to cause very little collateral damage and casualties. Even though the strikes caused relatively little visible destruction, they will likely have significant and long-lasting consequences by disrupting Iran's ability to produce certain kinds of ballistic missiles for itself and its partners, as well as by severely degrading Iran's ability to defend itself against future air attacks.
Sounds like
Now, what I did not hear
substantial information.
Yeah, what I did not hear there is how. How? Well, I'm going to post it. I'm not. You want me to read it?
Well, listen, I'm going to be fair to the big news.
If I give you Western media sources that state that the United States warned Iran prior to the strike, what are you going to do?
This is okay. Iran conducted its first ever direct attack on Israel from Iranian territory. Blah blah blah. Iran conducted a second ever attack. Here's a list of all the The reason IDF strikes were this is the Iran hitting Israel. The recent IDF strikes will likely disrupt Iran's ability to manufacture some advanced ballistic missiles. The IDF targeted mixing equipment used to produce solid fuel, on and on and on and on, and all the things that Israel hit in Iran. From the Institute for the Study of War, the link is in the chat. Feel free.
Well, dude, who the fuck is the Institute of the Study of War? Can you tell me who the fuck is backing them? What think tank do they belong to? What institute do they belong to?
You figure it out.
You figure it out. You're the one using them as yours.
Well, okay, it's on the Iran International.
What is said
it
about
says that Israeli F-35s entered Iranian airspace for the first time and targeted near Tehran. They did.
Who did? Who did?
Israelis.
Israelis can send F-35.
We're not going to care about the Israelis. And first of all, you will find other sources. Israelis. No one can tell you definitely that the Israelis infiltrated with F-35.
We have to understand, Cynic, too. The F-35s.
Why, you're going to quote crimes of Israel?
No, this was the Iranian.
No, F-35s used by Israel, like the ones used by the U.S. They generally go absolutely undetected, and they can. That's what their stealthiness is what makes them an absolute fucking source of destruction.
Bro, they allow
the F-35s that are used by the U.S. are completely different than the F-35s exported to Israel and other countries. F-35s in the U.S. use the latest cyber warfare technology, latest encryption technology, latest stealth technology, latest avionics. All of it is classified. The F-35 in the U.S. is an orders of magnitude more capable aircraft than the F-35s that are shipped out.
Sure, but once again, you have a fifth generation fighter jet, okay, which is more sophisticated than any anti-air defense that a country like Iran will have. They can absolutely.
How much does it cost? Wait. How much does it cost? Let me engage with Pepe just for 1 minute here about this. Pepe, how is the stealthiness of the F-35
a game changer when it comes to Iran, because it was painted by Iranian radar. So the stealthiness is gone. It's already been painted. So the stealth signature has been copied. It's no longer a stealth aircraft to Iran.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's nice that they say that, but once again, they were able to go into Iran, complete a mission, bomb them, and leave unscathed.
Okay, you said go into Iran. Who claimed that they went into Iran? There's no claim that they went into Iran. They went to Iraq and launched from Iraq. They were painted.
Wait, the F-35s didn't go into Iran?
No, they did not go to Iran. They couldn't. There's no way. The only nation, two nations on the planet right now that I can see potentially maybe having a 5% chance of using advanced electronic warfare, hacking, exploitation technology that is built into their aircrafts is both Russia and the U.S. And those countries might have a chance of piercing Iranian air defense systems. Now, when you say, you're in Iraq and you fire up ballistic missiles into Iran and they land, sure, they land. Where do they land? That's the question, because generally they were intercepted by electronic warfare. You know that Iran has from Russia this, I don't know how many, like 40-meter high, multiple units of these antennas that are designed to disrupt enemy and jam enemy radar and enemy communications between their military hardware, like aircraft, 5,000 kilometer radius. And so Iran could disrupt missiles that have just been launched from Israel in Israel. Not even before, they could disrupt them before they even leave Israeli territory. So, it's not as easy as they may make.
Well, sure, but like when it comes to like signal jamming and all of that shit, like you're saying, first of all, they have to be in the same frequency, and then a lot of them are hard shelled against that kind of frequency jamming. It's not that clear and cut. But I mean, so like, okay, Israel used U.S.-made F-35 stealth fighter units, largest ever strike on Iran.
How much does it cost?
And this was October 27th.
F-35 costs about $80 million each units, right? You can look it up.
That costs more than that.
Yeah, it's about $80 million. So, have you ever heard about this Global Hawk? I mean, the Global Hawk drone that actually was shot down in 2019. Are you aware of that Iran managed to shut down?
I don't know, 2019.
So I understand.
Israeli jet fighters entered. No, I'm not done yet. Entered Israel.
I understand.
Entered Iran's airspace for the first time in raids earlier on Saturday.
It's Soros.
Israeli F-35 entered Iranian. I don't understand this guy. It doesn't let me make my point. The point is that in 2019.
You made your point.
No, I haven't said my point.
Let him make.
In 200, the drone that was shot down in 2019, it was a surveillance spy drone that Iran managed to use it by using its domestic air defense system, not by S-300 or S-400, by its own domestic air defense system. I put the link in the chat. You can look it up. It was worth.
How did this relate to the conversation?
I'm just going to go. I'm just talking about the air defense system of Iran. So they managed to intercept and shot down drones.
Yeah, but we're talking about F-35s, which is
I understand, but the particular drone is a surveillance drone.
Trying to derail the conversation.
No, I'm not trying to derail.
It would be easier if Pepe and Norm couldn't just stay quiet, let Soren finish, then you could review him. And then I would like to hear
Let me just make my point. My point is very clear. When you're talking about air defense system, there are different types of air defense system for different purposes. So with the case of this surveillance monster Global Hawk, they managed to intercept that in an altitude of 55,000 feet. Imagine, they could do that. And President Trump backed them actually thank Iran because at the same time they could shot down another plane right next to it with the Marines on it. Iran deliberately not target that for the casualties, obviously. And
Can anybody follow this?
Like, what are you trying to say?
Because it's the air defense system of Iran. If they want it, and then you're telling me that somehow F-35 managed to get into Iranian territory without being intercepted and shot down, which there's a history of that. They pass through the.
The drones are intercepted and caught by.
This is surveillance, intercepting missiles. We literally have it on footage. Shut the fuck up, everybody. Like, stop denying facts. Like, we have it in footage in Iran, literally intercepting dozens of rockets. What the fuck?
Hey, Soren, are you done?
Yes, we do.
Yes, something.
Okay.
Like, what kind of strike where you deploy over 100 aircraft, and what do you exactly hit? What exactly did you hit?
Percentage-wise, you're barely hitting any.
Over 100 aircraft, and this is what you have to show.
The F-35 were over Tehran. So we struck at will.
Okay, wait. If they were over Tehran,
yes.
They were over Tehran. How come we have videos of the missiles coming in? Wouldn't you see the aircraft alongside those missiles?
They returned without listen, just read the reports. They returned without a scratch.
Of course,
no one is denying that. The reason they can return without a scratch is because they didn't enter Iranian airspace.
That is incorrect, sir.
Provide an American source. Provide a non-Israeli source, please.
There's two in the chat. Let's read
Okay.
it.
Two in the chat. No problem. Iranian intel is not an Iranian source.
So they can't enter.
I'm not going to read a fucking Shah website. I'm not going to read Shah website.
You go ahead, Cynic. You were in the Air Force. Cynic, you were in the Air Force, right? You're in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. As far as I know, when the U.S. allows nations to buy for example, in this case, the F-35, the nation must let the United States know what, for each mission, what they are going to do, so that the United States does not expose
the United States.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. So that the United States, so that the F-35 is not exposed to the Russian S-400.
Yeah, we get it. I get it.
Just one thing about
the United States goes out of its way to make sure that the technology in the F-35 or any of our aircraft or military tech cannot be sold or cannot be replicated.
Cannot be painted by radar.
We make sure we take a special precaution when it comes down to Israel, because we know that Israel is one of the main countries when it comes down to espionage against the United States.
Right. And in fact, the United States intelligence system is completely integrated with Israel. So it's complete free exchange of information.
That's a temporary.
It says integrated as Jordan.
And by the way, the sources that Elmore gave, I have to tell you about this source, Iran International, is actually funded by Israel, although it's got the name Iran to it, but it's not about Iran. I understand, but Iran International is a TV which is regarded as a terrorist in Iran. That's not a reliable source.
That's why we don't give us a American source. Give us a Western media respect.
Iran International is a terrorist network
I'll accept Russian sources.
You don't accept anything because it doesn't matter.
I told you, Western respectable sources. We all know what verify.
Norm, the problem is the report contradicts the video.
What report? Okay, do you understand that these reports are going to have to source up, right? So we're going to have to go. We're going to look at these pages that you provide, and we should find as sources. We should find sources. Okay, here we go.
Iran International is a terrorist TV channel funded by the Zionist regime in Iran. It is registered as a terrorist network.
CNN the same.
Not what Iran International is put on. I know that channel really well.
Okay.
Just because it's got the name Iran to it, it doesn't mean it's coming from Iran, right? So
we get it. It's not
These stories are quoting X. Quoting Twitter. Okay, let's see. Fox News. Let's just skip to Fox News because that was
what happened. You know what I cannot believe it is possible that the Israeli aircraft saved the missiles outside Iran airspace. There's a possibility that Israeli aircraft saved the missiles outside Iran airspace.
That's a possibility.
Let's see what Fox News says.
Israel took out 3 of Iran's Russian-made S-300 missile defenses during last week's retaliatory strike against Islamic Republic. Fox News has learned Israel carried out the strategic airstrike on October 26th, marking a significant escalation.
Identical to what I just read, by the way. Kick off.
Okay, so dude. Okay, what is your claim again?
Keep reading.
Dude, what is your claim?
That the F-35 was in
This guy is a numbnut, dude. It's a numbnut, a special kind of numbnut.
Hold on.
No, he's just a weasel. Rat weasel.
Hold on. Norm, your sources.
Israel carried out the strategic airstrike on October 7th, blah, blah, making a significant escalation in the conflict between the two countries during the operation's chosen name, Days of Repentance. The strike targeted critical military infrastructure, delivering both a symbolic and tactical blow to Iran's strategic capabilities following.
So it wasn't a strategic.
The Biden administration was informed about Israel's strike in advance. The target was chosen in an effort to send a pinpoint message to Iran and to degrade its ability to fire ballistic missiles at Israel anytime soon. At the start of the year, Iran only had 4 S-300 surface-to-air missile systems. In April, Israel took out one of the missile systems in response to Iran's first ballistic missiles attack. A senior U.S. official confirmed that airstrike took out the 3 S-300 missile systems. Okay, that's a senior official. Didn't provide a name. The majority of Iran's air defenses was taken out. I mean, Iran's air defenses don't just encompass S-300. That's a stupid point. On an international, I didn't finish. I didn't fucking finish. On an internal
I
call.
wanted you to. I'm encouraging.
On an internal call, President Biden's advisor for the Middle East, Amos Hochstein, a Jew, said Iran is essentially naked with no more missile defense. No, Iran only had S-300s. I'm pretty sure Iran has an S.
Israel allowed to go, or was a part of this mission?
I
don't know, because
over 100.
I got something going on. Go ahead.
According to my recollection. But you can read the
How
report.
many?
Over 100 according to my recollection.
Okay.
You can read the report.
Okay, over 100. Now, each one would carry 2 ballistic missiles. That's 200
ballistic missiles. No, dude.
Ballistic. Not the large ballistic. These are small ballistic missiles. They launch, and the F-35 is going at Mach whatever 1.8.
I think it's a cruise missile.
No, I think there might have been ballistic, small ballistic missiles. Because even cruise missiles, either way, if there were 2 missiles on each plane, here's my question. How is 200 missiles taking out the entirety of tens of thousands of batteries in Iran? Air defense system of Iran.
So obviously we've learned from the reports. Listen, Edward. Obviously we've learned from the reports that the Israeli F-35s penetrated Iranian airspace, flew over Tehran, and took out Iran's air missile defense. All of them? Who could say that? But clearly it did so from the report. That's my question.
Okay. Do you know what actually happened? The missiles actually did enter Iran's space on that day, but what they did was that apparently they actually shoot their missile from outside Iran airspace, probably somewhere in the Gulf. That's what happened. That's also Iran never denied that.
Whatever you say.
But the point is that F-35 did not enter Iran airspace. That's way too risky for F-35. That's what happened.
You're not even paid. You're just
on that day.
We have to repeating the earlier claims now. We don't need to keep repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
We make ourselves insane. And
200 missiles cannot take out, even a small percentage of the. So the F-35 penetrated Iran airspace.
No, absolutely not.
So it doesn't matter. Even if they penetrated, they still couldn't take out even 2% of the Iranian
aircraft, and all you did was pretty much take out, let's assume, what the Fox sources.
And Iran destroyed the whole Did they put a lot of the F-35s in Israel?
That's underground. Underground. That was true promise too.
They destroyed the F-35s. They would have a banner in the middle of Tehran showing it.
I think they destroyed
we know where your air bases are.
No, they have air bases.
They hit the air bases. Did they destroy them?
Yeah, they did.
They destroyed F-35.
I'll show you this. I can spell it. It says Weasel Academy.
You can't even spell it.
Oh my God.
That was a great one.
No,
That was freaking fantastic.
It was dumb like you.
No, it was a great job.
Guys, let's go.
You notice he's being contradicted, correct?
With a loony tune. Anyways, let's go. Let's keep going because I'm not doing it.
Let's keep going because so now you admit that Israel penetrated Iranian airspace.
Iran strikes attacking F-35s. They're hitting an F-35.
What would you like to see?
By the way, at each time Iran attacked Israel, can they fucking kite shut the fuck up? Shut the fuck up. Thank you. I will take that. No problem. Okay.
You're going to take a lot more of it, I don't.
I'll take Don't forget to use that term in front of all your knight brethren. Don't forget to use that term in front of all your knight brethren. Yeah, he's the biggest shadow president. Watch him leave. Oh, wow, you're actually going to stay. Oh, surprising. Where were we? Yes, can someone source up on an F-35 being destroyed in Israel by Iranian strikes? Knowing full well, he left finally. Knowing full well that every strike that Iran conducted against Israel came with a warning. The Iranians let the Americans know ahead of time that they were about to attack Israel. That's just the truth. Now, I'm not necessarily pro-Iranian regime. I'm not going to feed into propaganda. I'm going to feed into facts. Someone provide a source that showcases that Iran actually hit an
They hit. There are videos where they hit the hangars where the F-35s were stored.
It was massive damage. Not every airbase is an F-35 airbase.
No, but this one is an F-35 airbase.
I'd like to see a source.
Resistance. I'll provide it.
Yeah, I'm going to provide it.
Okay, if you don't mind. See if you can find the video.
Well, like, if you thought this room was fun because of Norm, then you're insane.
Senate. He's moved on.
Are you sick as well?
I am, yeah.
Dude, I'm sick too. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's like COVID 2.0 or something.
I know. It's insane. It's insane. I'm like I hope, like,
I'm dead. I am dead. I've been in bed all day.
Same here. And then my eyes and everything,
Never
my whole mind is foggy.
I've never felt this bad. I see people wearing masks, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All this shit is raining down on us once Trump wins an election. I'm serious. It can't be a coincidence.
Yeah. No, it's not a coincidence. The last administration made sure that everything, all the shit, actually is implemented in his administration.
Shut the fuck up, Pajit. Go eat poop. Go fucking fry some poop. Go eat your falafel poop.
Wait, what are you calling Pajit? Bruce is are you talking about Bruce?
Yeah.
No, Bruce is Iranian. And he's not insult Indians.
Tomato.
And what are you up to?
I don't really have anything to say. I'm just multitasking, but I just need to moderate. But there's a lot of people in the audience, so I'll try to bring them up. What's the room title about?
Don't worry. Ancient Islam. All the accomplishments of the Persian people happened under Islam, by the way. Whether it's literature, whether
I'll put the link in the chat. You can look at it.
That's the truth. Before that,
you better see
the Iranians were fucking their mothers.
This is the war zone. It says clear pictures of damage of Israeli air base.
Prove me otherwise, Bush. Why don't you come up here and prove it otherwise? Can you show me the scientific accomplishments, the literature, the poetry that took place prior to Islamic and Persia? Go ahead.
What?
Other than incest.
It wasn't for Islam.
What do you mean incest? Muhammad his son-in-law's girlfriend or something.
No, that's not true.
Go learn what incest is.
You didn't have to throw her down for being an ignorant colonizer.
She's not. I didn't want to throw her down.
Did I hit a nerve? My bad.
I mean, just be factual.
You just have to talk about your experience and everything in the Christian religion.
Clearly the Persians.
Oh, you do, right?
I'm not supporting pedophilia. That's just me.
That's not true. I just wouldn't have that theory.
I mean, when you consider pedophilia, in the 7th
why
century,
you're screaming, because your prophet.
I'm not screaming. I'm dealing with an ignoramus that still wants to talk over me. How about you just hop on ChatGPT?
Like, your prophet still fucked the kid.
Hold on. Real quick, Cynic. Hold on, Cynic. We have to deal with this. Hold on, you have to deal with this. Someone like her, I don't respect her opinion.
Okay,
hold on. Even if you're dealing with it in a logical sense, now, like she said, these Israel, 16-year-old is the legal age.
She seems to be a Persian.
Yeah, but she represents
Persians first. Why are you switching to Israel?
She's not Persian. She's Nigerian.
Fucking worse.
And anybody that's
anybody who fucking brings this argument about pedophilia in the 7th 7th century. Just go look up the common ages of marriage in medieval Persia. No. Look at the common ages of marriages in ancient Persia, medieval Persia, ancient Roman Empire, medieval Roman Empire. That's all you gotta do.
Just have to look at Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly. Or Richard III, or Edward II. Just go look up when these kings got married. Just go. Why do y'all fucking embarrass yourselves?
So they are trying to normalize pedophilia in America. They're in the National Institute of Health.
Yeah. No, there are.
They're calling them MATs.
You know why? Because it's fucking unreasonable. There is no clear definition of pedophilia, by the way. There is not.
That's what I would say. Because once again, technically, in some places, the age is 16. And guess what? Here in New York or in America, as they say, that would be pedophilia.
Hey, I can substantiate my claims. The Persians were fucking their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters prior to the coming of a step. The reason this practice ended was because of a step. Now, if one of you clowns want to challenge me on this one, you could come up and I can source it up for you. Again, not a 6-year-old. He didn't fuck a 6-year-old.
You're talking about those
He consummated at 9, and there are hadith that say 10, so I'm confused now that these clowns want to take hadith as it's an infallible source, as if it's a historical document. But if you're going to do that, let's just be consistent, and you have to include all the hadith as a historical document, which you'll never do, by the way. But I don't mind. I will take that. But at least present the facts of the hadith honestly. So the betrothal at 6, and then consummation at 9. Are you telling me that puberty can't hit a girl at the age of 9?
I don't have an issue.
A female can't hit puberty at 9.
Defend that anyway. It doesn't matter. That was his wife.
I don't need to defend anything.
This
was common practice.
Absolutely.
In ancient times and medieval times, and even up till the modern times, up till like the 19th century, early 20th century.
Hey, Bruce is on stage. Bruce, you want to go?
I don't need to talk to you.
So you would marry a 9-year-old.
No, but Bruce, can you
in the 6th century, yes.
Why?
Fuck the 6-year-old according to you and 9-year-old. You would say it's okay because
get the information right.
You understand that you are saying it's okay to fuck a 6-year-old because that's fucking everything that
Just I don't need him to go on.
No, you are saying it's okay to fuck a 6-year-old because that's fucking everything that.
There you go lying. Let's stick answer. You asked the question.
That's what you're saying, right?
No, you're
saying it's okay.
He just lied.
Listen.
Why are you lying?
Don't be scared.
Why are you lying?
Don't be scared. You are
I'm not
saying.
scared. You're
You
lying.
are saying
Why are you lying?
You are saying
Source up.
the savage Arab who are fucking 6-year-old is okay.
You fucking Persian scum. Fucking source up. Stop lying to these people. Let's source up. In the chat, fucking ran.
And then when you source up, Cynic will bring you back up.
They're not going to source up. He's going to lie to people. Fucking show me.
When he sources up, bring it back
He
up.
literally says consummated at 9. What does consummation mean? Like, is this guy a retard? Or does he not know the difference between a betrothal and a consummation? Does he not know? Does he not know in ancient, medieval, and up till like the 18th century, you could betroth a baby? People would promise, like royalty could promise their unborn child to another aristocrat or something prior to them even being born. They don't know shit like that because
this still happens in the U.S.
Never researched. They don't know what research is.
Big privately owned empires here in the U.S. They do this with their children all the time. And they.
I don't have a problem. What you have to do to avoid a fallacy of presentism is, which he probably doesn't know what the fuck that is to indicate how this was out of the norm in the 7th century. That's what you got to do. Until you're able to do that, then you're a fucking idiot. And you're committing a fallacy called presentism, the fallacy of presentism. Now, if some of you dumb-ducks don't know what the fallacy of presentism is, go Google it.
Well, I mean, it seems that when he got on stage, the point that he was making was just trying to insult Arabs or saying that this is...
he got insulted because I gave him a truth. I gave him a truth, which Persians used to fuck their parents, and they used to fuck their siblings. That's the truth. Prior to Islam. Islam is the reason this phenomenon ended.
Absolutely. It goes back to the Romans. It goes back to the Egyptians. It goes back to
let's not accuse the
Iranians,
Romans of incest. Let's not. No, the Romans didn't normalize incest. The Persians did.
Oh, it stands for minor attracted person. Instead of pedophile, they're calling them minor attracted.
Okay, what's a minor?
A minor.
What's a minor?
A child. In this case,
I don't know. No, that's not what a minor means.
Minor is under 18, right?
I don't know, but that's not an objective figure.
Okay. Instead of using the word pedophile, they're replacing it with the word or the letters MAP, which stands for minor attracted person. Somebody who's attracted.
That actually is more indicative of the subjectivity of the term. Yeah. Because the whole pedophilia, it has no objective sense. It literally has nothing. So you could, is a 17-year-old has every 17-year-old not hit puberty, or hasn't shown signs of maturity, physical maturity?
Yeah, that would be pedophilia.
How about every 16-year-old? So why is it 18? What is the objective science behind the age 18?
The UK tried to bring it down to 12.
France, I could swear to God, France was like 13 not that long ago.
Up to the mid-2000s, Canada was like 13 or 14. They changed it after 9/11 because everybody...
But you know who you're dealing with fucking American cunts? Is a 250-year-old nation. Because that's who you're dealing with. So everything in America, but the problem is Bruce isn't an American, but he's fucking probably sitting in Irvine somewhere.
I think in Utah, I know this was true back in the late 90s, early 2000s, because I've seen the whole documentary on TV. I think it was on 2020. I don't know if anybody remembers that show. Very credible. Every Friday night. It was like 60 minutes. A guy married a 10-year-old girl, and this 10-year-old girl grew up, and she became the prosecutor of the county, believe it or not. But they have her on video when she was 10 saying, I want to, and I'm willing, my own free will, to marry this, man in his 40s or 50s. This happened in Utah in the 2000s, early 2000s.
This is how it was. We can show you workers, we can show you people in the 19th century, 3-year-olds working and literally conducting themselves as adults, earning a paycheck, jumping down chimneys, cleaning them up. I'm sorry, the West has turned people at a young age into zombies. I'm like, you lose over a decade of your life being fed propaganda in schools that literally don't educate anybody, don't provide any actual skills, nothing. What a waste of fucking time. They make it act like your 20s are your prime. Nah, man, it's your teens.
Yeah, teens and 20s now. It's not your prime. I mean, the school systems have been so dumbed down in America. We can't actually. There was a report where we're not even able to compete on the world stage when it comes to education.
But the problem is, do you see any of these Persian or Hindu clowns go around and make these arguments against Jews, against kikes? No, you won't. You won't see them make any of these arguments against kikes. When we pull out from the Talmud 3 years old, when we pull out the 6 years old, when we pull out from the Romans 6 years old, when we pull out from the Catholic Church 7 years old, no, they don't make a comment. You don't see them go into the Catholics You don't see them going to the Jews. You don't see them going to medieval Europe. No, none of that. Only the Muslims, because they are so desperate to get anything to stick on us.
Well, being the fastest growing religion and about to surpass Christianity, it is to them a major threat. Cynic is
Quickly, anybody ChatGPT incest in the Sassanid Empire.
I don't want to.
Among Zoroastrians in the Sassanid Empire. Common practice.
Hey, Jack.
Is a type of consent that has been historically practiced since before conquest of Persia. Here you go. Here's even a Wikipedia page on this. Fuck if these guys know their own history, man.
True, actually. What happened before, Islam came to Persia, that's actually true. Sadly, the incest was a practice among the royal family, and also the Zoroastrian monks were extremely, have the higher say in politics and everything, and that was one of the reasons that, quite contrary to the Persia, with Romans, battles, with the case of Muslims, they actually literally after initial Qadisiyya, they actually embraced Islam for the right reason. Many of also at that time Persians actually went and embraced Prophet Muhammad as well, like Salman Farsi. I don't know if you guys know about Salman Farsi. He was actually one of the Sahaba. So people embrace that Islam, but yeah, it's true. Sadly, that's a part of the history.
The Persians were happy that they didn't have to send their children in the thousands in droves fighting pointless wars against a fucking Roman Empire.
Yeah.
They got them nothing. Yeah, true. So yeah, of course they were happy for Islam. Not only that, but they finally got to end this pseudo tradition. So it's ridiculous tradition, and also other things. Zoroastrianism didn't make sense to a lot of people. A lot of people were Zoroastrian by name alone. It was mainly like a practice that was limited to like aristocrats, like high class, the high class in the Sassanid Empire. So the peasants knew about Zoroastrianism, but they didn't really participate in the rituals.
And there was different sects like Mazdakism was another sect of Zoroastrianism was existing. I mean, there were some certain rituals that's problematic, but one of the rituals that's still problematic is actually still exercised, believe it or not, because some of the Zoroastrians actually now they reside in south of India called Gujarat, the cults of Parsis, and they one of the problematic I would call rituals they had when someone died, passed away, they left the bodies on the top of the mountains for the birds to be eaten. So you can imagine that practice was also a common practice among the Zoroastrians in Iran for I think almost 50 years ago. So yes, there were some rituals that it was Islam came in and actually says no, you're not supposed to do that, and that's a fact. Yeah. Sadly, it's a part of the history.
So the King of Jordan is meeting with Trump. He's coming down to meet with him. Anyone hear this?
We're not so sure about this.
Trump, he thinks he can bully everybody. Like, bro, there's red lines even in the Arab world. Yeah, I don't think you could do this macho stuff with us. And they're not gonna jeopardize their own national security for your sake, Trump. Regardless of how much of a persona you feel is necessary to maintain credibility. Which he's claiming that, you need to substantiate this persona because I'm going to benefit you using this. You're not going to benefit us once you render 2 million Palestinians refugees. Yeah, we're going to lose any legitimacy we have in the Arab Islamic world. And you're going to make us look like traitors. So forget about attacks in Israel. You're going to start seeing attacks in Jordan and in Egypt.
If Gazans are displaced, you will see attacks coming from Africa, from Southeast Asia,
Afghanistan, Pakistan, using missiles and drones. And that's what you're going to see. Small
If you think 2 million Palestinians are rendered refugees in the Sinai or in Jordan, and they're not brought back, what do you think the result of that is going to be?
Like you said, they're gonna fire back at Israel. I mean,
no, they're not going to fire back at Israel. If I'm a refugee Palestinian and the Jordanian or Egyptian government promised me something and they didn't fulfill, I'm going to attack them.
Yeah, that is definitely a threat that Egypt is taking seriously.
They know
Jordan especially. I mean, forget it. You bring in 2 million.
And motherfucker, look what I did to Israel. I can do worse to the Egyptian military. By the way, the Sinai is full of dissidents for the Egyptian military. There was literally a whole campaign that went on for at least 3 years with Ansar Beit al-Maqdis, the champions of Jerusalem, practically. If I had to translate the name, and give you combat footage over like an hour and a half, actually maybe 3 hours. Fucking Egyptian military getting clapped.
Iraq is building up its military forces, and the UN ambassador to Israeli ambassador to the UN, Danny Dano, said that he believes the biggest threat is in the next war will be coming with Egypt, because they are building up their military.
Egypt is blackmailing the West. The only reason Egypt doesn't engage in any direct attack with Israel is because they are getting paid not to do so. So the only way Egypt maintains its leverage against the United States, so they keep getting paid the $150 billion, is that they showcase that they are actually a legitimate threat to Israel. So they have to do this. The Egyptians have to maintain a military status that threatens Israel existentially. They have to. And Egypt has enough artillery alone, that can literally wipe Israeli cities off the map. You cannot intercept artillery with Iron Dome.
No, good artillery and good artillery commanders win wars.
Artillery wins wars, period.
Yeah, it does. Well, yeah. I mean, as long as you have trained people that are doing it, that's what I'm saying. Good artillery commanders combined with artillery, that wins wars. That's the whole core of your military right there. It should be. Now, did Israel use much artillery in Gaza? I don't think
they did use artillery. I told you they did. They used.
No, I don't think they used much of it.
I believe they did. I don't know exactly how much, but I literally saw footage of artillery, just indiscriminate firing of artillery into Gaza. That dinosaur, you remember that fucking dinosaur, the guy in the dinosaur suit running around and making a meme? No, that was the artillery.
So Ukraine used artillery very well against the Russians.
How did they use the fucking Hermes? What are they called?
Those are the drones or the missile.
No. There's an artillery that exclusive to the United States that they gave them. I forgot what it's called. It was long range. What is it called? American artillery. Ukraine. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't pay attention to the type of artillery.
American long range artillery. Has a specific name.
You know what makes the howitzer special?
It's not the howitzer.
No, I know that's Swedish. I'm saying that's artillery. Do you know what makes it Makes it different, or is it different, or is it just because it's
HIMARS.
HIMARS is artillery?
Isn't it? It's artillery.
Is it? Wow.
It's like a hybrid. What gives them the extra range? HIMARS. Yeah, it's classified as artillery.
Interesting.
I guess you could say it's I don't know. I'm sure it is. It's considered that way. Here, let me chat GPT it. It's not HIMARS. Because Russia was completely against the HIMARS system being used. HIMARS. There's the HIMARS system. Classified as artillery. I don't know why I can't say artillery. Artillery. I don't know. Look. Yeah, it is. It's classified. Yeah. It's like this hybrid system. I'm not part of no artillery division, but well, yeah, they are. It's like a hybrid. It has like an initial launch system, and then like after it gets to a specific range, and then it's like dead drop. Well, yeah, it's probably the longest range out there. It's a disaster for the Russians, this system. Because there's really no way to intercept this shit. Which is weird, you know, you would think the United States would give the Ukrainians all they need to win this war, but no. It's just a weapons testing ground, seriously. It's a reinforcement of NATO by creating a hostile Russia and pretty much building up, you know, forcing the Russians to build up their military capacity in a way that threatens Europe to justify NATO, which is pretty much to justify American hegemony over Europe. That's all this is. It's not about Ukraine. It's about just justifying NATO. You know who started all this? Trump. Trump is the one who threatened to pull out of NATO. And after that, he started a ripple effect.
Oh, I was on mute. I didn't realize it. I was agreeing with you, and I was saying you should look up the howitzer. That is a pretty amazing artillery weapon.
Oh, American equipment is just.
Well, I think it was developed by Swedish. Sweden makes it, but the U.S. also makes it. So does Germany.
Howitzer. I thought howitzer was German.
Howitzer. Oh, it's German. So it could be fired it could be used as artillery, and then the angle could be lowered and shot off as a cannon, and it has sniper-like precision up to 40 kilometers. That's insane. That's insane. And they're guided.
That's pretty impressive. They're guided.
Yeah. Self-propelled. Yeah.
But what is going on now with Canada and the U.S.? I think I've just read an article. The economy minister of Canada says what Trump did. She referred to it as economic warfare.
He put 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico.
So
he's trying to weaken both economies.
But apparently she's going after Europe too. I mean, he says Europe is out of line. So it's going after all the allies.
He's
trying to weaken. I mean, the U.S. is being weakened, and he wants to weaken everybody else and make them capitulate to whatever his demands are.
But is it fair to say that maybe the world order has been new in the past, like after the Second World War, is going to change or maybe evolve?
Of course, that's what he realized. BRICS is a major threat, and that's what he's doing. He's trying to establish dominancy, and it's not working the way it used to work. Less people are using the U.S. dollar. The global South has a lot more influence. Companies are more diverse. They don't want to be just U.S. companies. They want to be, global powerhouses, which means they have to set up manufacturing headquarters, R&D, in global South nations. So the world.
When the COVID actually started, now the U.S. position is very clear. The States was just a lab job. I mean, obviously, that's what they said publicly. It's a lab-made virus. That's what the White House's spokesperson said the other day. And it's actually started after the Trumps introduced the tariffs to China. So
he introduced tariffs back in its first term. I mean, China can't sell any of their hybrid cars or electric cars in America. They're like the world's largest hybrid and electric car manufacturers in the world. They can't sell, the U.S. can't sell any high-end microchips to China. They're in a trade war, big time.
Let him live stream it. Just showcases kike retardness. If he wants to live stream that, go for it.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Some guy's like, hey, some guy is live streaming or something. Like, fine, go for it.
that's Alan Watts.
Showcase how retarded kikes are. Delusional. Trying to meme to go for it. I looked up into how it apparently goes all the way back to like 17th century Holy Roman Empire, modern day iterations, Germany, United States. So I don't know.
I think they made it famous, and then it was copied by Germany and all these companies. Because I know Sweden was making it because they were years ago in the 90s sending it to.
I couldn't find Sweden at all in my search.
I gotta look it up. I remember seeing a report in the 90s where they were sending it to Israel, and they're pro-Palestinian for the most part. And so somebody went, and a couple of people went and destroyed the howitzer factory in Sweden.
You understand there's a lot of us in Sweden, right?
Oh yeah, Sweden, Denmark, Norway. Yeah. These are the countries. I don't want to.
Okay, they do have a history.
So you want to look up something really cool about Sweden? In GPT, type in Swedish made fighter jet.
Oh, I know they have one of the best,
hasn't been used in combat.
And flexibility.
Yeah. And ease of use for training.
Yeah.
Very simple. One of the best in the world.
I'd say one of the best non-stealth aircraft.
Yeah, they're working on the stealth one now. Stealth is not that important.
It's not. It's just it's actually going to become obsolete.
It is obsolete. You shoot a radar at a stealth aircraft. You easily get their signature by computer. It's analyzed instantly. And that's done. You get the signature. The stealth is over.
Yeah.
The stealth bullshit is bullshit. And the F-35 is one of the besides the F-35 that we have here, which was fixed, but the rest of the F-35s, the F-35 is
the future is going to be stealth plus decoys, so they're going to have like these mini drones, decoys that pop out
the aircraft.
Yeah, that fire off all the anti-air. They get hit, and
that's probably seventh generation, where you're going to have a pilot and an aircraft where he controls 100, 500, or 1,000 other, aircraft, smaller, but
like their drones that carry their
You
own
don't need to
munitions.
control them, just like fire them off somewhere into the enemy territory, wherever they'll get intercepted by the anti-air, and then use that as cover for you to move in.
Yeah, but you'll be able to control them. So
Why do you need to control them? You just need them to get intercepted. You can program them to, like, escape or dodge or do base maneuvers.
Turkey is talking about skipping the 6th generation and moving to the 7th generation fighter.
They got it. They got the right idea. They got the wingman whole tech thing going on.
You want to see it?
Like a drone that goes in, analyzes like the environment for you, like does all the, without jeopardizing the pilot at the beginning, and also like someone to help you dogfight if it ever came down to that. So they got the right idea. Just Turkey needs investments. That's what it needs.
Yeah, I mean, you could do anything with drones, though. This is a whole new avenue for warfare. You could make drones. You could
baptize it.
What's going on?
Was that you? Or you got clipped or something? Dude, speak up.
Wait, that's not baptizing.
That's not how.
JH. I'll bring up JH as long as he behaves himself.
JH, keep your penis in your pants.
Sound like your wisdom teeth were taken out.
Yeah, where those things going on?
Hello, JH. How are you?
I'm not too good, man. I'm thinking too big, man. One of my good friends passed away.
Okay. I went to my story.
Is he Muslim?
No. My condolences.
He's on the news. He passed away a while ago, but just tomorrow's his actual funeral and everything. So I'm just a bit sad. He was on the news, man. He's the 17-year-old basketball player from Philadelphia.
You're sad because he died, or he died while not being a Muslim?
Well, brother, it's still a human life, right? Regardless of being Muslim or not.
What happened? Why was he on the news?
Because he's a basketball player, right? He's young. And, things just caught up to him. He could just go look at it. He got shot, man. The thing was, he got shot.
Oh, he is.
It's not somebody that passed away. But,
feel free, you guys can go to transmission like there's no scurry.
Yeah, my condolences. That is sad.
We call him the Joker, he's the guy in my profile picture, we call him Joker.
How are your studies going?
Man, I'm still fighting the cases, so I don't know time for any studying right now.
Why is this Edward so different than a regular Edward? Is it different Edward?
It's called a mind testicle.
I'm sick.
I'm being accountable.
Yes. Yes, I am.
You don't know how many filed taxes?
No, I only work with those that make minimum 200,000 a year or more.
You don't know practice?
I used to. I had my own practice, but not anymore. I'm with the government now.
Is running your own practice a headache?
Yes, it is, because people do not understand how to manage their money, and they expect you to, go along with what they're doing. And when you tell them you can't file taxes this way, and you can't claim this, and I'm not signing off on this, they get very upset. It's hard business.
Yeah, I think it's drug related, clearly. People just fucking cap people for no reason.
How do you make these tremendous accountable? What's the best shoot you put on?
Consulting, advising.
looking at somebody's company and showing them where they're lagging behind others, where they're where their money's going. A lot of business owners don't know where their money's going.
People are willing to pay for this. Like, how do I go to a rapid small business and tell them this?
You got to learn how to do it first.
Have you watched the series called Ozark?
Yeah, a little bit. I haven't watched all of it. It's about money movement.
That's a good way to start.
The grub show.
Yeah.
It's good. I got bored of it though.
Yes, forced.
Finish it.
Listen, I can't. There's 1,001 ideas out there. There's more ideas for you to choose from. The biggest rarity is implementation. Standing up and saying, "This is what I want to do," and fulfilling the promise.
Right now, the IRGCs are hiring for the county position.
Yeah.
This guy thinks the IRGCs are hiring foreigners.
I just told you. I literally just gave you advice. I said, ideas are a dime a dozen. There are so many ways to make money. It's just finding something that resonates with you, and actually going through with it. That's where 99.99% of people fail. They do not go through and see it to the end.
When you file taxes for high net worth people, like.
I did advisory services. That's where I make more money. Taxes.
So how did you reach out to people? Like, how did you decide? Like, why did they decide to choose you?
I was on LinkedIn. I posted on LinkedIn, and they contacted me. I had a whole sales funnel for them. To teaching them about advisory, how it works, why they need it, how it makes them more money, and then by the time they go through the whole email sequence, text message sequence, and then I invite them to make an appointment. And then those that make an appointment, I speak to. Those that don't, go back to my
financial accounting for Hamas. We're doing accounting for Hamas. Hamas doing accounting for Hamas.
You guys, I got my own plans. I have my own plans. My money, I make my money. As I say, I'm on ways to make my money. I work for the government, but I have my own.
If you go to shop, bro, come on, share knowledge, bro. You're gonna die with that. Listen, I'm trying to increase my network through the XC6. But I have some fraudulent things that could possibly get it, but I want to make ethical money,
Get a job, leave a year's worth of experience, and then apply for a government job.
Fuck the government job. I worked at this firm called PwC. Law
firms are hard.
Yeah. Obviously, he knows PwC. PwC is worldwide.
Like penis White House.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I was going to apply for an accounting position for the IRGC. Have a first round interview with them.
Hello, Dean. Salam alaikum. That's it, Dean. I'd
rather see some money, bro.
I can't help you. You gotta find something that resonates with you. If you want to make money, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of ideas out there.
When you ran your business, what was the best business that you found? Oh shit, this makes a shit ton of money.
No. I mean, it's accounting. If you're an accountant and you're an advisor, yeah, you can make a shit ton of money. You can make $1 million a year after like 3 to 4 years. If you have your systems right, if you have your marketing done right, everything is automated. Yeah, you can make a shit ton of money. No, because I'm not in that business anymore.
Why? You want to make money or what?
I make money in other ways, and I want a government job because I'm using it as a stepping stone for other things. So I have a whole plan laid out.
Just tell your plan.
No, because I don't. My end goals are nothing you would be interested in. I'll put it to you that way.
Well, your end goal is to rob the fucking interesting.
No, everybody's different. You have your own. No.
You're trying to join some government contract?
Well, you could go into like government contracting in terms of being a contractor for the government, picking out a niche, that you could provide services or products to the government, and people make it big that way too.
How do I get into the U.S.?
Well, Canadian has the same thing, really. You could do it in Canada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. I need people that make money in Canada like that. You can become a vendor for the Canadian government and then start bidding. If you're a minority, your name, your bids have more weight. If you have disability, your bids have more weight. There's a lot of
What if you're retarded?
Huh?
What if you're retarded?
If you're retarded, you can't really handle the business anyways.
I'm starting off my own business. I'm sure get like house of present family all trust me.
No. The way you get clients is first you got to first find the proper software that would help you, do the taxes and do the advisory part. And then you have to set up, and you'll find it online. How to set up an accounting sales funnel. Go through YouTube, how to set up an accounting sales funnel. How to automate an accounting sales funnel. Put that on YouTube. You'll have tons of videos. No, it's not. I'm telling you to go to YouTube and put these keywords in. How to set up, how to automate an accounting sales funnel, or how to automate an accounting advisory sales funnel.
What do you do with all your clients?
I transfer them to another firm.
Why? You sell it or what?
No, I just transfer it.
That's just the life for the product.
You also want to have experience.
I see it go out. How do you think I have?
Okay, I'm gonna go through these videos. Learn how to set up sales funnels to attract businesses, small businesses. Learn what are the top 100 ways that you could save the average business money. Look these things up.
I'm sure you got the money about it.
And should AI course be able to get AI to make that stuff for you?
Yeah, so I was telling that when I Google on YouTube and put in how to automate an accounting advisory sales funnel. And there'll be a ton of videos that will show you how to incorporate AI and have it set up so it's automated.
What do you talk about?
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of the services I offer. And that's a good one.
What do you sure as a part-time CFO for something called Finalytics? I don't know if you heard about it.
So if you want a decent money actually right now, a company that's hiring nationwide, they got great benefits. It's called My Part-Time CFO LLC. Look them up. They work with nonprofits exclusively, and you start off like $80,000 a year at least. You'll go up there very quickly, though. I mean, they move you up the ladder very fast because they're trying to grow offices everywhere. Canada, are they in Canada? I don't remember if they're Canada or not. Honestly. I'm trying to connect the link to this job. But maybe I'm not being secretive.
Hold on, no, I don't get my. There's no. No, I don't get my number out. There's no reason. Well, I will. When I have my Telegram set up, I'll give you my Telegram. Hold up. Huh? Hold up. I have that downloaded. I got it. If I send you my business pin, or you get a what? If I send you my business website, or you get a fucking reviews. Or it's not. I wouldn't do that to anybody. I would never do that. And if somebody does that, yeah, you would take legal recourse against them, actually. You're sick of bullying religion.
You know, by the way, Alan is live streaming already. I don't know if it's 100% true, but Alan is already live streaming this whole call.
It's a call.
Read the fucking comments.
Alan, where are we going? I mean, are we on YouTube? Are we on Facebook?
So it's not going all over.
I don't know why you get bugs. I don't know why you find my room at this thing. Kick myself.